Good day everyone. So in this video we're going to discuss potential gradient to be discussed by Miss Kotako, me, and Miss Laris. Let's proceed immediately. Learning objectives at the end of the discussion is we should be able to differentiate potential difference from potential, visualize the relationship between electric potential and electric field, explain or visualize the direction of the electric field, interpret electric field strength from potential gradient, understand the meaning of gradient operator, V with a bar, that's not, I'm pretty sure that's not inverse delta. Solve problems involving potential gradient. So first is discuss these equations. Itong pang-una, this one is work. The negative sign here, which means that the work done is on the opposite direction of the charge and the electric field. So this is the work This is the work done by the electric field on the charge. So Q is the charge here, E is the electric field intensity, and DL is the small change in length kung saan gumagalaw yung charge along dun sa electric field. So according here, the definition is that potential difference is equals to the V, which is equals to the voltage, as we all know, is equals lang siya sa negative integral of the electric field intensity times the derivative of length. We can see that this equation is here. This one. It's just that nawala yung Q. So that means since Q is constant in here, if we divide this by Q, we can get the potential difference, which is given by this equation na to. Ito. Potential difference between points A and B is equals to work all over the charge. Work done all over the charge is equals to this equation, where this one is equals to A and B. So kaya nyo na intindihin yan. I'm pretty sure those things are familiar, especially this 2 pi epsilon times ln of B all over A. So ang unit ng potential difference we all know is volts, and that it's given by this equation. Negative integral between points A and B times the dot product of the electric field intensity times the derivative of length. And that the potential difference is equals to VA minus VB if we're talking about vectors in here. So ang pinagkaiba ng potential difference is that there are two potential. Let's use this one. If there's two potential, A and B, the potential difference is yung nagaganap dito in between. We all know that, right? Nodal analysis. And that potential is a single point, and the potential difference is the difference between those points. Sabihin ko lang na there are two types of potential na lagi natin ginagamit. The ground, which is 0 volts, and the other one is hindi natin masyadong ina-apply, which is equals to the infinity in real world applications. Let's proceed. There are two methods of determining potential. First one is the line integral gamit ang electric field intensity. And then the other one is the volume integral, which is the basic charge distribution ang gamit naman. However, both of these are hindi masyadong ginagamit since electric field intensity is not given in the problem, and also the charge distribution is also not given if you're going to continue this video, makikita nyo sa examples na dito ginagamit. So from here, we're going to derive from this equation. V is equals to the negative integral of the product of electric field intensity and the change in length. Usually, ginagamit natin, right, is the change in R, which is the radius, pagdating dun sa charge and the Coulomb's law. However, here, we're going to use length, kasi nga, yes, pagdating sa electric field, it's not radius that matters, it's the length kung saan nag-travel yung charge in the path of the electric field. So from here, we will treat E as a constant. So pwede mo na kagad ilabas to kasi constant to. And then they're just going, the derivative of L is just the change in L. Ito. So by definition, the change in potential difference is not equals. This is not derived. This is, according dito, is equals na may dot sa taas. This means that it's not derived in its definition. Negative electric field intensity times the change in L. And if we're going to derive it furthermore and we're going to assign, if we're going to assign cosine theta or the angle between E and the change in the length, kung saan nag-travel yung charge. Therefore, we can get that the derivative of B all over derivative of the length is equals to the negative electric field intensity times the cosine theta. Familiar itong equation na to. Somewhere in the power factor. Ito to. Medyo ginagamit siya. So, ayan. And, base dito, since nakabase na tayo sa derivatives, we can get the maximum voltage. However, we do not know kung saang position dapat itong si L mo para makuha yung maximum voltage. However, by definition, ano ang maximum ng cosine theta? We all know that the maximum of cosine theta is 1. 1 ang maximum ng cosine theta. Therefore, if cosine theta is negative 1, wait lang, let's write this one. If cosine theta is negative 1, therefore, we can get the maximum value of the voltage along the electric field, which is equals to electric field itself. Yes. Here, in which direction should the change in L be placed to obtain a maximum value of the change in voltage? So dV over dL maximum is equals to just E. As I said earlier, the maximum of cosine is 1. If we're going to get the negative 1, then makakancel yung negative part. So this letter exercise shows us two characteristics of relationship between electric field intensity and V at any point. So ito yung major characteristics niya. The magnitude of electric field intensity is given by the maximum value of the rate of change of potential with respect to the distance. And that the maximum value is obtained when the direction of the distance increment is opposite to E. Or in other words, the direction of E is opposite to the direction in which the potential is increasing the most rapidly. So, hindi ko napakita yung graph ng potential dito. Pero makita nyo na baliktad talaga siya. It's the opposite direction. With that, we're going to talk about na sa potential gradient to be presented by Miss Heart Cotauco. So, introduction lang talaga yung ginawa ko as in, since those are just intros and definitions of equation. So I will now give the floor to Miss Hart.
Hi, my name is Princess Heart Sikutako from BSc U2B, and in my part, you are to understand the connection between electric potential and electric field. This includes interpreting field strength from potential gradient and understanding the gradient operator, which is represented ng inverted triangle. You will see it later, as well as the other equations na related sa topic namin. From the previous slides ni Kuya Josh, this negative operation on the electric potential V na may kasamang inverted triangle, which is also called as the nabla, wherein makukuha mo rin or ma-obtain mo yung electric field. This is also equivalent dito sa equation na to. So, bali from this, you can see that this nabla is the gradient, is what we call gradient. Nagigets nyo ba? So, ibig sabihin, yung inverted triangle or nabla na yan na may kasamang V is the potential gradient, which is yung topic natin. Yun yung gradient. So, anything na may inverted triangle or may grad is a gradient. So, it could be letter T or gradient of T, could be F, gradient of F, and so on. Let's have a deeper understanding when it comes to this. The gradient of a scalar field T is defined as the equation na nakikita niya sa screen nyo, wherein it is the derivative of T with respect to N na minultiply sa unit vector in the direction of N. And this equation is also equivalent sa equation na nasa black box, rectangle, nasa black And this is also equivalent sa equation na nasa loob ng dark gray na rectangle na to. And you can see that it is already in partial. Hindi na siya simpleng differentiation lang. So, bakit nga ba nag-partial tayo? Kasi we need to consider the dimensions of x, y, and z. Yun lang yung reason niya. So, itong T, capital T, and the capital T letters na makikita mo dyan sa equation na yan, it could be replaced by any gradient na gusto mong makuha. Yun lang. So, para saan nga ba yung gradient of a scalar field? For instance, in our case, kunyari electric field, it basically tells us the direction at saka yung magnitude of the steepest change in the electric field. In short, gradient of a scalar field shows us where and how fast the field is changing the most rapidly. So, bali yung pinaka-key point lang naman ng ating equation is to basically tells us how much the scalar field changes with respect to each coordinate direction. Let's go to the relationship of electric potential or capital letter V and electric field or capital letter E, wherein we are already familiar with this equation, right? By the way, this is our key formula, which states that the electric field is the negative gradient of the electric potential. For that, take a look at this figure, wherein the slope represents the electric field and the height of the hill represents the electric potential, wherein you can see that the steeper the slope, or mas matarik na slope, mas stronger yung electric field natin. This could also be in reverse, charot, in other way around. This could also be negative and this could also be positive. You know, just manipulating the equation, wherein kapag yun naman yung pagbabasehan natin, the negative sign in the formula tells us the electric field points in the opposite direction of the steepest increase in electric potential. Take a look at that rolling ball here. Ball. As you can see naman, it rolls downward from the highest potential to lower potential. Intindihan nyo naman, diba? Let's go back to our equation, to our key equation, wherein this gradient potential is equivalent dito sa makikita nyo sa screen nyo. Kamukha lang siya nung kanina, diba? Yes. Equivalent siya dito. Kung kanina, gradient ng T, ngayon naman is gradient ng V or the potential gradient. Therefore, we could conclude that's equivalent sa negative quantity ng kung ano man ang nasa loob ng parentheses na to. Okay. For my very last part, you can actually express the gradient in different coordinate systems, and we have three. We have Cartesian, cylindrical, and spherical. Let's dive into Cartesian. Let's go first to the potential gradient in a Cartesian plane. This system uses perpendicular axes, x, y, and z, to pinpoint any location in a space. It's ideal for describing objects with straight edges like buildings, books, basta may mga rectangular shapes. Next up, you can see the equation, yeah, right? And the figure. This one is the potential gradient when your coordinate system is acylindrical, wherein we have rho, wherein p, or the rho, is the radial distance from z axis, wherein the phi is the angle from the z-axis, and the z is basically the height of the cylinder, wherein this one is perfect for objects with circular symmetry such as pipes, wires, of course cylinders, cylindrical. And our last coordinate is the potential gradient in a spherical, wherein we have the r, the distance from the origin, the theta, or the angle from the positive z-axis. This is also called as the polar or the inclination angle. And lastly, we have the phi, wherein it is the angle from the positive x-axis in the x and y plane. This is also called as the azimuthal angle. And that's it for my part. Next up is the examples by Clarice Borda.
So now, dito naman tayo sa examples. Example 4.3, given the potential field B equals to x squared y minus 5z, and point P negative 3 and 6. We wish to find the several numerical values at the point P. First, the potential field, or the V, and the electric field intensity, the direction of E, and the electric flux density, and the volume charge density. We have potential field, which is equal to 2x squared y minus 5z, and the point, which is negative 4, 3, and 6. We need to find the value of potential V, electric density, electric field intensity, the direction of E, and the electric flux density D, and the volume charge density V. For the solution of the potential, or the V, the potential at point negative 4, 3, and 6 is Vp is equal to 2 negative 4 squared times 3 minus 5 times 6. So, sinubstitute lang natin yung value ng x, y, and z dito sa given potential. Ngayon, pag kinompute natin ito, makukuha natin tong value na 66. Ngayon, the value of potential is equal to 66 volts. Next, to find the electric field intensity, we may use the gradient operation to obtain this electric field intensity. So, E is equal to negative delta B equals negative 4xy A sub x minus 2x squared A sub y and plus 5A sub z. Compute natin, makukuha natin ito ng 48A sub x minus 32A sub y plus 5A z. Then, kukunin natin yung magnitude ng electric field intensity, which is the square root of 40 squared minus 32 squared plus 5 squared, which the total of 57.9. So, ito yung total value yung electric field intensity. So, next, nakuha na natin yung potential tsaka yung electric field intensity. So, hanapin naman natin ngayon yung direction ng E. The direction of E at P is given by the unit vector AEP is equal to 48AX minus 32AY plus 5AZ over by 57 point. So, yung formula na ginamit dito, yung katulad ng dati, yung AEP na nakuha, ito, divide by the absolute value ng EP or electric field intensity. Then, makukuha na natin ito pag dinivide natin. 48 divide 57.9 sorry, minus 32 over divide by 57.9 and 5 divide by 57.9. Then, makukuha na natin. Ito yung direction ng E natin. Then, next, nakuha na natin. Doon na naman tayo sa electric flux density. If we assume this field exists in free space, then electric flux density is equal to permittivity of free space times yung electric field intensity. Yung electric field intensity natin is equal to 48x minus 32y plus 5z. Then, times natin sa permittivity of free space, which is 8.85 times 10 raised to negative 12. Then, pag times natin sila, makukuha natin itong value ng electric flux density. Nakuha na natin yung value ng electric flux density. So, dito naman tayo sa volume charge density or yung PV. We finally use the divergence relationship to find the volume charge density that is the source of the given potential field. PV is equal to nabla times the D. So, kanina nakuha natin yung value ng D, which is negative 35.4 xy minus 17.71 x squared ay plus 44 minus 44.3 az. Then ngayon ito times natin siya dito. Then pag times natin siya, makukuha natin tong value ng volume charge na density natin. Volume charge density at the point P. P. Then yun, nakuha na natin lahat ng hinahanap sa question. So next, try to answer this para kahit pa paano mas maintindihan niyo yung lesson. So may given naman yan na answer for checking. And thank you for listening.